thought you'd be brave for life. I thought you would stay for life. You told me you love me, that's a fucking reason I thought. But I didn't know, oh, I didn't know that you was, oh, I didn't know, oh, I didn't know.
Fuck. I'm back, bro. And I'm back on some shit, bro. Saiyans versus Viltrumites, bro. I think this is gonna be my first actual argument going into any show or recording an argument in the first place. This argument has been going on for as long as the whole backstory with the Viltrumites and all that shit, since, you know, so similar with the Saiyans. Niggas been comparing them for the longest, and now everybody wants to say their own side. Oh, they think this guy's will win, this guy's will win. And I have my own sides. We're all humans, bro. We're all gonna argue. We're gonna do this shit. It don't matter. At the third. My point is, if we had both sides, I'm talking full power, the full Saiyan race, no Super Saiyan because they didn't have Super Saiyan at the time. I'm talking about them at their peak when they were doing their planet conquering shit, and the Viltrumites at their peak where they were doing their planet conquering shit with all the millions of Viltrumites versus the Saiyans. Who would win? Now, I'm going to say the Saiyans might win. And I know a lot of you going crazy. Oh no, it's not even close. The Saiyans, oh my god, they get the blue planets. They're stronger than the Viltrumite. That the third. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to my evidence. And that's why I'm watching this video. I'm not watching this video because I know this dude or anything like that. I just want to see the point of Saiyan size, because majority of the people that say Saiyans will win all tend to have the same point of view. I've been holding on to this video for the longest, just to say. I've been trying to see when I'll be able to post this video at my highest peak of mindset, and I just decided, let me just get to this shit, bro. A lot of you niggas have the same point when it comes to, oh, the Saiyans will win against the Viltrumites versus the fucking Viltrumite part saying the Saiyans will win. Most fucking Saiyans will give you the same example. Oh, look at fucking King Vegeta. He did this. Planets blew up. That the third. Alright, cool. Versus the Viltrumite side where, nigga, they're just Viltrumites. You just feel like they're stronger. They will be able to fight, you know, that shit, and win. Now, I feel like it will really depend on the scenario, but I think for me, it's 50-50, pretty close. I'll give the same maybe like a 55, Viltrumites 45 type of level. I don't think it's some insane outlandish difference in them that they will lose. I feel like some Viltrumites will be able to kill like a bunch more Saiyans, bro. Like the Viltrumites were more trained warriors versus the Saiyans where they were just bun with power and basically, what's it called? If you were a lower class, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't even really train you like that. You basically just had to survive. It was survival of the fittest. I know it was survival of the fittest on the Viltrumite too, but they still trained them niggas how to box. The Saiyans didn't train them niggas, bro. They were just do your own shit, nigga. Type of fighting shit. The lower class had to take care of the lower class, while the higher class just saw the lower class as just fucking meat shoes and shit. It's whatever, bro. But get into this shit, bro. Whew. Like I said, bro, I feel like the Viltrumites would give the Saiyans a hell of a fight, bro. I still think the Saiyans might win just because they're Saiyans. I don't think fucking Drag is gonna be able to beat fucking Super Saiyan Blue Goku and shit, but I think he'd be able to fucking fight the shit out of maybe Super Saiyan Goku, nigga. I don't think niggas be seeing Saiyans and be like, oh my god, fucking Saiyan, they're so strong, they can destroy multiple universes, bro. Motherfuckers will tell you fucking Goku MUI can destroy the entire Milky Way galaxy or some shit. Mind you, he's never done anything like that, bro. Niggas be dragging shit out they buttholes, bro. Not my language, bro. But let's get into this shit. I'm gonna be counteracting basically what he says, and I'm gonna let you know what I think about it. But let's get into this bit.
What? This debate has been done to death already by so many YouTubers, myself included, or at least Invincible versus Dragon Ball related matchups. But with Super coming back and Season 4 finally finishing, I just had to enrage the Invincible fans once again! For this video, we are not going to be looking at exclusively the manga or comic continuity for Invincible or Dragon Ball. Instead, we are not only going to be using both of those interpretations, but alongside with the anime and TV show continuity. Since the anime for Dragon Ball, surprisingly enough, buffs up the manga pretty significantly, alongside with the Invincible show buffing up the characters from the comics. So, let's just settle this once and for all using all the interpretations. Who wins it, Saiyans or Viltrumites? For the record as well, this video isn't about
like,
who
look
you
at
would
this.
rather be as.
Who the fuck, bro?
Who wins it, Saiyans or Viltrumites? For the record,
this is my point, bro. They don't train all of them. Like, who is this, bro? Even a regular scientist on the fucking Viltrumite end is a biff jackass nigga, bro. Thaddeus is a scientist on the Viltrumite end. Do you see that nigga? Versus this nigga, bro. They ain't give a fuck about this nigga. This nigga has a gun. The Saiyans are using a gun. Oh my god, bro. You gotta be
this video
fucked,
isn't
nigga.
about who you would rather be as well or what alien race is superior based on genetics. My friend Jaded has actually made an in-depth video on this topic specifically, so I implore you to check that out after finishing this one. But enough yapping. Let's put the scaling into time and perspective and see who really wins this battle of freakish alien races. I shouldn't have said that. That made me sound like Frieza low-key. I'm sorry. When comparing the attack potency or strength of the Saiyans and Viltrumites, we can simply look at what the average or elite of each race actually
See right here, this is my main point when it comes to this argument, bro. Niggas be forgetting to keep this thing in this mindset in track. This scene right here where fucking King Vegeta waves his cape and he blows up these 3 unnamed fucking orbs. This shit don't even look like planets. What are this shit? Fucking orbs. Anyways, niggas be forgetting to keep in track. When did this shit happen? This scene happened in like what, 1990, whatever the fuck. You know what? Let's look it up. When did King Vegeta blow up 3 planets? What year? Episode 78, nigga. What year was it made? Yeah, there we go. 1990. Anyways, this shit was made in 1990. At this time, there was no anime, my nigga. Anime wasn't a thing. It was cartoon, basically, at that point. And cartoon had no fucking no logic. They weren't aiming for fucking logic or common sense or try to keep a fucking a set balance or any or plot. They didn't give a fuck about plot majority of the time back then, bro. The only thing that really mattered back in 1990, bro, was fun. How interesting was this? And of course, it's way more interesting to watch a fucking alien race destroy planets and be evil and do around with a whole bunch of fucking shit. So honestly, that shit didn't make sense, especially to power scaling. Now that we're trying to argue this shit, then you bring in scenes that they made. Like back in 1990, bro, fucking Goku, Kid Goku, grabbed fucking, what's it called, the Rabbit Gang and put them on the moon. Mind you, that same Kid Goku, back in the Frieza arc, the Planet Namek arc, when they were going to fucking Planet Namek, this nigga couldn't go past Earth's stratosphere without a fucking spacesuit or he would die. And the same niggas arguing this shit will use that example, talk about some, oh, Goku's so strong he could do this back then. Nigga, back then it was a cartoon. Back then, the shit was for jokes. They weren't trying to be no fucking serious power scaling or nothing like that, bro. You can't bring that shit into an argument where you're trying to fucking actually debate this shit, bro. Like, this type of shit been pissing me off. Niggas be lacking common sense.
For example, elite Viltrumites or the overall relevant ones should be ranging from moon level to possibly even small planetary, at least when looking at only the comics. The reason for this is because Omniman casually halts meteors the size of Texas in Season 1, along with characters like Tech Jacket in solo comics legit throwing spaceships into the sun with this relative amount of energy. Not only did Tech Jacket pull this off before his amps, but this random teenager that Anissa was bullying and is specifically stated to be clearly not on the tier of a Viltrumite just yeets ships with enough kinetic energy to destroy entire planets. I mean, this probably makes a case for the Viltrumites in the comic continuity being comfortably planetary, but that mainly applies to only the relevant ones. This makes sense since noteworthy Viltrumites such as Nolan, Thaddeus, and Invincible are considerably powerful Viltrumites and were able to destroy the planet Viltrum when combining their power. I'm sure you guys have seen this feat time and time again, especially with the new recent episodes, but for those new to this method or maybe just show-only viewers, let me explain why this feat, at least in the comics, isn't really all that impressive. Firstly, Mark, Nolan, and Thaddeus are trying to hit a specific point in the planet or else they just instantly splatter, meaning they do not scale to the explosion. Also, after they specifically hit the planet, they are actually chasing after Space Racer shoots his gun, And this is ignoring the fact that Space Racer's gun already was shot at the planet's core, destabilizing the planet and basically making it crumble altogether. Which was the only reason why this strategy in the first place was even possible, and even after this, they all knock out from this feat. So I really don't think, at least within the comic continuity, Viltrumites are planet level. The only ones who are comfortably in like that large planetary tier are Thrag and Mark. Everyone else is probably capping somewhere between small and regular planetary. I really can't sit here and say these guys are comfortably getting past that planetary tier. However, within the show, of course, these events are actually different and end up being a lot more impressive for our characters. Thetis, Mark, and Nolan don't have to hit a specific point within the planet, instead just all charge in together at once, and also don't immediately pass out after performing the feat, but it does seem like Space Racer's gun was still key in, breaking down the planet altogether. However, this feat is a lot more impressive within the show than it is in the comics. And Season 4 of Invincible gave us additional feats such as the sun disk exploding from a fodder coalition ship, which isn't really applicable within the comics, but is applicable in the show. And Nolan was able to push a planet by himself when he was with Alan back in episode 2. Now the sun disk and Viltrum feat can range from large planetary plus to small star level, with the planet moving thing just coming out to around large planets. So generally the large planet tier for the show versions of the Viltrumites is generally consistent. And it's not like Nolan can one-shot any of these Viltrumites either. We see characters like Lucan, Crad, Anissa, even Craig, yeah, even you, Craig, they somehow are able to all end up keeping up with Omniman and not being too far behind. I mean, we even have a statement of Vidor and Thula and Lucan being as strong as Omniman, so hey, any feat that he performs, I'm sure any of the relevant Viltrumites within the Viltrumite War are more than capable of doing. Now, compare this to the Saiyans, who are generally ranging at a power level between 1 to 2,000, and that's if you're a low-class Saiyan. Mind you, this at the bare minimum is multiple times more powerful than characters like Roshi or Piccolo Jr., who are able to vaporize the entire moon.
Once again, even back here, this shit's were barely canon, bro. This shit to vaporize the whole moon, bro. I'll still give it to them, they still have the beams and shit, but honestly, this shit was barely I could consider, because the creator's not gonna come out and say oh, they're not canon, they're not like part of the power scaling, but this type of shit barely makes sense. Like, if you try to fucking argue the current fucking state of the world versus back here, bro, it barely makes any sense, bro.
Based on just this alone, these two both come out to around large planetary with this feat due to how casually they're able to pull this off, and due to them legit vaporizing the moon and not just, conventionally destroying it. These are levels already
Second of all, I don't think this niggas had the beam to vaporize the moon into dust. It's just took less effort to draw them fucking vapor to just blow up the moon, just shoot a beam at that shit. Cause nigga, he shot a tiny ass beam, bro. This nigga shot. Look at this skinny ass beam that this nigga shot. That shit is not supposed to turn the moon into straight dust. That shit looked like it would just penetrate the moon and maybe divide it in a couple of quarters and shit. But obviously it was way easier.
This alone, these two
way easier, just draw the moon, just completely disappeared.
Both come out to around large planetary with this feat due to how casually they're able to pull this.
Look at that tiny ass beam, nigga. You got me
off, and due to them legit vaporizing the moon and not just, conventionally destroying it. These are levels already surpassing the standard for Viltrumites, with the elite class Saiyans entering a whole new realm of power. You see, King Vegeta in the anime casually destroyed 3 planets with the flick of his wrist, and it wasn't just
that shit, bro.
Casually destroying 3. No, he atomized these 3 with a shwing. And then we see his son completely wipe out a large planet in the filler anime arc, and if you don't want to acknowledge this, that's fine, but like,
cool, bro.
How I'm applying both comics and the show to Invincible, I'm applying both the anime and manga for the Saiyans. The Vegeta feat comes out to around brown star level, with the King Vegeta one coming to as low as large planet plus to as large star level. Speaking of, the Saiyans generally have an ability as well that can increase their power level up to 10 times over under a full moon, as they can undergo the Grade A transformation. Not only this, but generally there are no feats compared to even someone like Raditz and Nappa in terms of raw power when you really put into perspective how much stronger they are compared to Piccolo or Roshi.
Love Roblox?
Mind you, this fuck this shit, bro. What the fuck is this, bro? Blood this shit. It's so funny to me because this Saiyans, they so strong with all this fucking power, right? But when he comes to fucking fighting on Earth, bro, they'll be fighting with their full power. Niggas be dying. Frieza be dying. Talk about some, oh, I can destroy a planet, I can destroy a sun. And then be shooting their strongest attack. But because the strongest attack is not hitting the Earth, so the Earth doesn't, I don't know, doesn't get destroyed or anything. It's cool.
Best case scenario for them is having like Emperor Mark around on top of Thrag and the other Viltrumites all like specifically jumping Raditz or Nappa or something, and they just might get past possibly the middle class Saiyans in terms of raw power alone. However, just to kind of make it easier for you guys to understand, Kid Vegeta legit bullied Cybermen who are all compared to Raditz in power. It's pretty clear in the power department the Viltrumites lose pretty badly, at least within the comics. Like, they probably do not get past Saiyan Saga Vegeta or even the King Vegeta feat at all. Like, they are barely getting past Raditz and Nappa with this one, chat. And also, I'm just going to say right now, when it comes to durability, it's kind of the same case for both races, as they can both withstand equally the amount of force they're able to dish out. Therefore, durability isn't really a factor here for the Viltrumites. I know someone might bring that up, but just in case if someone is going to bring that up.
Durability is not a factor for the Viltrumite. Let me point this out, bro. In the, the Saiyan Saga? Once again, when fucking Goku was going to Namek to fight Frieza. The Saiyans, Frieza mentioned, cannot survive in space. This is validated. Let me look it up. Can Saiyans survive in space? Pure-blooded and half-blooded Saiyans cannot survive in the vacuum of space. Now let's look this up. Can Viltrumites survive in space? Yes, Viltrumite can survive in space. Hey, I'm not even making this shit up. Literally, one can survive in space and one cannot survive in space. This is not breathing or nothing like that. This is talking about like your body literally cannot handle space or your body will be torn apart, nigga. Because space crushing shit. And one cannot. Hey, I ain't make this. It is what it is, bro. I'm not the one saying it, bro. And then niggas will have niggas like Raditz go up against fucking Thrag and fucking Emperor Mark, nigga. Be honest, bro. Or some whack nigga will probably say some shit like Krillin versus Viltrumites, bro. My nigga Krillin, whoever the fuck saying this shit is whack. That's how you know the fucking motherfuckers that be arguing this shit. My nigga, I'm not on anybody's side when it comes to this shit. I'm one of the most basic. I'm just using common sense for every one of this shit. I'm watching this shit and I'm judging everybody, bro. Krillin. This nigga. Did you see that shit? Is Krillin bleeding from a gunshot? My nigga, I can kill Krillin. What the fuck is you... Nigga, you can kill Krillin. The nigga got shot. What the fuck is niggas talking about? Krillin versus Omniman, and they talk about some fucking Krillin is going to win. Nigga, he got shot. This nigga can get shot, bro, and bleed. And you're going to tell me this nigga can beat a fucking space alien that can fly in space and fucking punch Texas away and shit. And is immune to bullets, mind you. And you're gonna tell me this police officer is going to fight him and win. I fucking hate people, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
But once again, this is only within the comic book continuity. In the show, the Viltrumites are generally a lot closer to Large Planet or possibly even Small Star, which does surpass that general tier for the Saiyan Saga characters. But if we're keeping the same energy towards Dragon Ball as we were towards Invincible, then the gap once again begins to show. Because why are Roshi and Piccolo Jr. having relative numbers with the 3 Viltrumites destroying Viltrum? This makes no sense. Dragon Ball's anime is very stupid.
Exactly, my nigga. Dragon Ball shit makes no sense. They literally, back here, I'm just saying, back here, back in this 90s shit, it was literally not even considered anime at that point. It was just cartoons.
King Vegeta's feat could possibly range up to Large Star level and eclipse any feat presented within the Invincible show, and we know that Saiyan Saga Vegeta surpassed his father. Meaning, Vegeta within the Dragon Ball Z anime is much stronger than any character within the Invincible TV series, including the likes of Thrag. And if you're only using the pure source material, they are generally capping around that Saiyan Saga tier anyway, and ultimately still fall short to the Saiyans in terms of strength. But that's just my take for attack potency. What about speed? Now, unlike in the attack potency section, the Viltrumites are actually the ones who massively outclass the Saiyans here. This is because in Invincible, Viltrumites' reaction and combat speed actually proportion to their travel speed as well, and we see them being capable of moving across thousands of light years away within weeks. And we also see characters like Mark flying faster than the fastest coalition ship, which is moving massively faster than light, and we've even seen Alan react to massively faster than light ships at point-blank ranges. And the main thing that people bring up is Omniman crossing millions of light years within weeks, and this was just him being depressed and floating around in space, which does get Nolan to the hundreds of millions of times faster than the speed of light. And this applies for both the show and comic book continuity. However, that whole reaction and combat travel speed thing mainly only applies to the comics, so the speed scaling for the show could be a little different. Which makes sense since within the show we see Mark plenty of times getting caught lacking and tagged by attacks he definitely should not be. And although the Viltrumites all range in power, they should all at the very worst be relativistic in speed. Now comparing this with the Saiyans, I feel like the lower class Saiyans at the very worst have better speed arguments, or at least light speed upscaling. Since Raditz would be obviously massively faster than characters like Kid Goku, who was well more than capable of weaving and dodging light beam. But while the low end Saiyans are probably faster than the low end
dodging light beams, they said. But I don't ever want to argue that type
the Saiyans don't quite reach as high into FTO compared to the Viltrumite warriors at the end of the day. The only way they can somehow scale to this level of speed is if they utilize their Ozaru form, which would give them powers relative to like higher versions of Goku, who was weaving speeding meteors while traveling to Namek. But this in itself is iffy since Goku, who was weaving
that nigga's in a spacesuit, mind you,
speeding meteors while traveling to Namek. But this in itself,
that nigga was barely weaving shit. This nigga ducked and closed his eyes. What the fuck are you talking about? This nigga had his eyes closed.
Speeding meteors
I fucking hate niggas, bro.
But this in itself,
nigga had his eyes closed and then one of them just went by him. This nigga talk about, so oh my god, he's weaving meteors.
Who was weaving speeding meteors?
Okay, bro. This shit didn't even... Okay, nigga.
While traveling to Namek. But this in itself is iffy since we don't know how strong Goku is by this point, due to more than likely him receiving a Zenkai after the fight with Vegeta. And overall, the Grade 8 form does hinder their mobility, so there is that too. But funnily enough, guys, the Saiyans and Viltrumites are actually 1-to-1 here. This battle will be coming down to hacks and abilities, so let's go ahead and break that down now. Firstly, both races are extremely adaptive in combat and utilize skill in hand-to-hand along with technique and don't just simply flail their arms.
This fight was insane.
Viltrumites have the ability to breathe in space for long periods of time and generally are immune to diseases and inconveniences that Saiyans would more than likely come across to.
Mind you, this nigga had a heart disease, bruh. Oh my god, the strongest nigga, the strongest Saiyan, caught a heart attack and he died. Fuck, I shouldn't be laughing. That's not the point.
Like Goku be susceptible to heart diseases. Viltrumites as well can survive just far more pain and end up surviving a lot of attacks that you'd probably just think instantly kill you. For reference, if Nolan was put in the same position as Vegeta back on Namek, he'd probably give Goku another pep talk after this damn death beam hit him. And like I said, the Viltrumites specifically do have a way of fighting or a fighting style that most Viltrumites tend to follow, whereas with the Saiyans, all of them kind of have unique specific fighting styles. And the Saiyans ultimately have...
Exactly, unique, because everybody just basically trained themselves in the Saiyan. They're not like an army, they're just a group of bandits. Group of socialized, and they only give a fuck about rankings and shit, bro.
Have 3 big advantages going into this: the ability to use Ki, the ability to use Ozaru, and the ability to keep evolving.
Like, that's the only difference and advantage I would say the Saiyans have over the fucking the Viltrumites. The fact that they can use ki and they have like transformations and shit.
Now with ki, the Saiyans have much more options to take down the Viltrumites here, including sniping tactics, nuking the planet, or even using large AoE waves to catch them lacking despite being slower. However, this could only work to an extent as the Viltrumites are still significantly faster, and the Saiyans will be getting rushed by Viltrumites constantly, only for them to take more damage than the Saiyans they tried punching in the first place. So while it's going to be annoying for the Saiyans to try and fight Viltrumites ping-ponging them in space, they're ultimately not going to be doing any damage and are just going to be coming across as Naoya with the pillar.
My nigga, were Saiyans just getting shot? I've never even seen that.
Them in space, they're ultimately...
What the fuck is going on?
Not going to be...
My nigga, this are your Saiyans? What the fuck is this nigga doing? What the fuck? Nigga, this are the enemy? I'm talking about Prime Saiyans. I'm talking about this, like, this Saiyan, like, well, not this Saiyans, because I think this was, like, them before they evolved into the main shit. Or maybe this are just lower class Saiyans, I don't know.
Doing any damage and are...
But there's no fucking
gonna be coming across as Naoya with the pillow punches. You see, in Invincible, we see Nolan legit hurting himself trying to combat Thrag, and Mark, while nerfed, was able to do this to himself as well, which does show that in Invincible, an AP gap can really just ultimately stop a Viltrumite from doing anything. And now that I'm really thinking about it here, the Viltrumites unironically would just crush their bones and bodies like Red Rush trying to defeat someone like Vegeta, who's casually performing feats that the strongest Viltrumites aside from Thrag are barely pulling off. And even if you want to say that Thrag somehow took the center of this explosion and he has small star level durability, this is still significantly lower than King Vegeta's feat in the anime. And if we're using things like Roshi's Moon Calc, which also gets them significantly into planetary, then I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Raditz would be looking like Thrag when fighting any of the elite or generals, or even Thrag himself. Damn, wait, somebody should actually do a video on Raditz versus Thrag. Oh, wait, I already did it, I'm a genius. But with all of that aside, ladies and gentlemen, the Viltrumites would definitely be a lot of trouble for the Saiyans, but ultimately, due to a significantly large power gap, the Saiyans ultimately would come out on top, and hey, Grand Regent Vegeta? Yo, hold on, wait, this the...
Yeah, my opinion still stands, bro, I ain't gonna lie, this shit, physically, power gap, I don't think the Saiyans got it, but with ki and all the other fucking tricks they got low-key, very close fight once again, bro. I don't know if they will win, but I feel like if we had to do like some kind of scenarios, there'll be like chances where the Viltrumites will actually win versus other scenarios where the Saiyans would win. And I feel like the Viltrumite, like I said, the Viltrumites are army, bro. They're not gonna fight you one-on-one like the Saiyans will with their stupid pride. The niggas, they jump niggas, bro. So honestly, and look at the fucking, not gonna lie, the Viltrumites have a better fucking, what's it called? A better world, bro. This nigga's developed so fucking good. They had like spaceship, they had advanced tech versus the Saiyans were just primitive monkeys fighting around the world. So Frieza was cloning that shit in the first place. But as I said my shit, nigga, I'm out of this bitch, bro. Once again, bro, for those of you talk about some Krillin fucking fighting 50 Viltrumites and shit, I don't want to ever see this type of stupid shit again. This type of niggas are the ones that you don't, I'm not even gonna bother watching this, because why would I watch this shit? This nigga just got shot. This nigga got shot, bro. He got shot and he's bleeding. You gonna tell me this nigga's gonna fight a fucking Viltrumites, bro? You know what? Can you shoot a Viltrumite? Hold on. I ruined this shit. Can't spell for shit. Yes, but a standard bullet or laser won't do much. Can you shoot Krillin? I had his guard up. What the fuck does it matter, bitch? My God, he could destroy cities, bro. I wonder when that shit happened. I watched the whole fucking show. I never seen Krillin destroy a city, bro. A day in my life. Bitch, I'm out this fuck shit, bro. Get out of here, bro. If you come to me with this nonsense fucking argument, you don't bring actual facts to the table, get the fuck out of here, man.
I thought she'd be paid for life. I thought she would stay for life. You told me you love me, that's a fucking reason I thought. But I didn't know, I didn't know that you was, I didn't know, I didn't